Hello and welcome, Pop Chat friends. We've made it. It is Friday. Thank you so much for joining us for Pop Chat. It's going to be a really special one today. I've got a special guest for you coming up from our friends at Hootsuite, who are the sponsors of today's chat. So let's make it a good one. And of course, we're also going to have a giveaway from Hootsuite. So stay tuned. They're our favorite platform for social listening and scheduling content, tracking trends, all the things. We are big fans of Hootsuite. And you're going to hear from Paige Schmidt shortly. So stay tuned for that. We also have Margaret and Darian from Hootsuite in the chat. So make sure you say hello. And so many of you are already, the chat is already on fire. Like I said, Paige is here. Bailey, one of my former students, awesome to see you. Reggie's here. Romy from Tel Aviv, hello, awesome to see you. Monique, glad you're loving the tunes. I do feel like a bit of a DJ back here sometimes. So thank you so much. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and we are going to jump right in. But if this is your first time joining Pop Chat, Kevin's here. 30 minutes, whatever you have, that's the rule for Pop Chat. Just pop on in and spend some time with us. Yes, happy Pop Chat Friday. Margaret's here, Darian. If this is your first time joining and we haven't met yet, my name is Brianne Fleming. I am a marketer, but also a fangirl. I love 90s and early 2000s pop culture and also current stuff. We're, of course, going to talk about that today. And I'm also an academic. I teach branding and social media at the University of Florida. I'm a content creator. I have been hosting this Pop Chat as a live stream for 6 months now, but the chat has existed as a Twitter chat for over 5 years now. It's crazy. And I'm also a mom. I've got a 1-year-old and I live in South Florida. So if you're ever in town, let me know. Say hello. A little bit more on what Pop Chat is. It is your place for marketing and pop culture. We are going to take trending topics for the week and look at them through a marketing lens. And just a happy byproduct of that is community. You get to meet other marketers and really connect and network. I've had some of you who have said you've landed jobs thanks to people you've met through Pop Chat, or just some really amazing connections have happened. So say hello, make friends. That's what this is all about. And the way this is going to work, of course, be you. I always say there is no gatekeeper here or a single authority when it comes to your opinions on marketing or the things that you want to share. Whether you're a CMO or an intern, your perspective matters. So share it and reply to others, connect and have fun. We keep it pretty casual around here. Mark is a first timer. Welcome. So great to see you. Monique from Maryland. Yeah, we've got some friends from Austin in the house. Hey, Salim. Ashish from India. Hello. Reggie's a freelance tech and HR ghostwriter currently in Columbus. Reggie, when did that happen? Interesting. Just temporarily, like for the week, or are you living in Columbus? We really do have to catch up. Mark is a sales and marketing manager at a consultancy living in LA. Anyone else in social? Yes, everyone in social. Say it loud, say it proud. Paula's here from Dallas. Texas is really showing up big today. Love to see it. Love to see it. So we always kick off with a little icebreaker. And I know a lot of you here, most of you are in marketing. We've got Salim, a marketing director at a Diamond HubSpot solutions partner. But I want to know, what was your first job before you got into marketing? Oh my goodness, Jermaine is here. It has been too long. Great to see you. Jermaine is one of my Pop Chat friends that I've had the pleasure of meeting in person. So great to see you here, Jermaine. And Romy, yes, she is a social manager of influencers and marketing at Wix. Love to see it. Lathan's here, creative strategist at Tommy John, but also looking for my next role. We love that. We love that. So if anyone is hiring, please share. Danny's here, community experience coordinator, working in social. Love it. Okay, my first job, like pre-graduating college, in high school, I was a hostess at a chicken wing place. It was called Wings Plus, and just greeting people with a smile. I can do that. Showing them to their table. And then I also worked and did retail at the mall a little bit. Anyone from LA, if you remember a store called Anchor Blue, they've since filed for bankruptcy and no longer exists, but I used to work there. Salim, teaching a toddler how to play basketball count. Definitely counts. Monique, professional fruit blender at Smoothie King. I was 16. That sounds like a really fun job. Professional fruit blender. I love that. Bagger at Market Basket at 14. Before I was old enough for that, I raked leaves around my neighborhood. I did that too. My neighbors across the street, they owned a makeup company, and their garage was just filled with makeup. And I would rake their driveway, and they would give me like lotion and stuff. I was like 7 years old, and they're like, "Here, have some lotion and anti-aging cream." Sure. Lots of baggers. Dishwasher, moved into customer service, and eventually social media and community. It's interesting to see how these old jobs can kind of translate. Oh, our LinkedIn user is here. Who is it? Reveal yourself. You didn't miss the Hootsuite giveaway. We've got one coming up today shortly. Reggie, this tracks. A host at the Hard Rock Cafe in New Orleans. How fun. Kevin worked at a gas station, stocking the fridge and running the cashier between summer baseball games and practices. We're all going down memory lane. Let's see. Sima, hello. Sales associate at American Eagle. What was your discount? I'm dying to know. Danny loved Anchor Blue. The graphic tees, 2 for $20. You don't see that anymore. I worked at a visitor center, mainly telling tourists where the nearest washroom was. Where though, Darian? Visitor center for what? For the city? Sub shop. All right, we've got professional smoothie blenders. We've got sandwich artists. More smoothie folks selling sodas. You all are so interesting. Margaret, delivering newspapers in my neighborhood. Love that. Did you ride a bike around like a true newspaper delivery girl? I love that. Jermaine worked for customer service hotline. When you were a teenager, pizza place, learn to count change, summer camp counselor, everyone's first job. So fun. Hey, Anne, good to see you. City of North Vancouver. Love it. All right. Well, that is your first job. And now I'm going to introduce you to someone else who has a very important job. Paige Schmidt. She does community at Hootsuite. Her official title is Social Performance and Community Marketing Specialist. You know her. She's been in the chat. She's been with us these past 5 weeks here at Pop Chat, and she's got some special stuff coming up. So wait, let me just rework our Brady Bunch here. Hey, Paige.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be with you all here today. I wanted to share my first job. It was at Sears. If anyone remembers Sears, I worked in the footwear department. That was very good. It was high school. I think I was like 15. Probably like the perfect job to have in high school. So that was really good.
Fun. So fun. And my favorite fun fact is that the Backstreet Boys did a sponsorship with Sears for their Millennium Tour in 1999. I don't think you were there then.
That was the year I was born. So
okay. We'll take it. We love Sears around here then.
Oh, Sears was the greatest first job, to be completely honest.
So fun. So fun.
But yeah, I wanted to say thanks for having me, Brianne, and it's been so wonderful having to get to know each and every one of you in the chat. I've really gotten to be able to get familiar with each of you over the past 5 weeks, and that makes me feel extra special to be here today. So I'm excited to be joining for the last Pop Chat. Sad, but I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. As Paige said, it's our last Pop Chat. We're going to go on a little hiatus. I've got a big trip coming up, but we've got giveaways, and we're going to do a really great send-off. And Paige has a really cool screen share coming up. So if we could go ahead and share that, and we'll get it up. But yes, rest in peace, Sears. Pour one out for Sears. I just always think of that line in Mean Girls, you should try Sears.
You should try Sears. Yeah, I was there until like the last the last day, so that one
Oh,
was a sad one, but, yeah, Monique, I do have the owl in the back. I just had to make it a little bit more festive, so that was really fun.
so cute. Yes, Owly is here joining us. So, yeah, I'm going to let Paige take over. We're going to do a little social listening and talk about pop culture trends, and then we're going to dive into our questions. But, Paige, take it away.
Perfect. Okay. So, for those that have been here for the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of diving deep into pop culture. Really, Brand does a great job of kind of covering different stories that's on going on social. And so we thought we'd close the loop on last week's session. We kind of talked about Benson Boone and his new video, the album drop, and I just wanted to explore some of those insights. So, specifically, how people are reacting to him as an artist and the sentiment and kind of what that looks like for the song and video. I know that there was some topics that may have came from social listening from behind the scenes. Maybe their team was seeing some frequent sayings. Like I know industry plant was one of them, auto tune. So I'm excited to kind of jump into that and see like can we put that to the test. So I wanted to just do a little bit of a shameless plug here and show you how we would look at that on the Hootsuite side. And so if you have anything in the comments that you're wanting me to kind of search up in that regard, let me know. I'd love to make this a little bit more interactive. But I'm just going to start out with just Benson Boone and kind of seeing um, what people are thinking there. So this is kind of what the dashboard looks like when you pop it up. You can see here, there's a couple different, I guess, dashboards you can look at. So there's going to be the key metrics, which will have the results over time, which you'll be able to see the different spikes. So if you're noticing, there's a big spike on this day, which I'm almost positive was the launch of his music video, June 19th. That sounds really familiar. So that's kind of where you can see the spikes of different topics that are going on. That's really good indicator of what people are talking about online and like why, what date, everything like that. So here we can see the results. So there's a couple different layouts you can go. I personally like the counter because then you can actually see the exact number. So for Benson Boone in the last 30 days, it's 188,000. And obviously this can kind of go up and down based on the different dates. Yeah, Benson Boone and his backflips. I'm excited to kind of get into that one. The engagement. So what this really means is the amount of engagement on those posts. So the results would be the mentions, and then the engagement would be those engagements on those 188,000 mentions. So that's just a good indicator of like what you can see, how many shares that got, likes that got, comments, all of that. And then we can scroll down into like sentiment in terms of positive and negative. So we can see here it does have a little bit of a higher negative sentiment that we would think. But what I like about this is I'm like, why? I want to understand that a little bit further. It will actually show you the top results of what is kind of bringing those negative sentiments in. We can see Mr. Electric Blue, the music video. So this is really correlating with the music video that was dropped last week. And it's just saying that something about American Heart. So there's just a lot of different things. Up here, you can also see we actually have the Blue Silk AI powered insight. So this is strictly AI just pulling statements and everything like that, categorizing almost all of the results and putting it into a bite-sized piece of information for you to take to leadership or management, wherever you are, just sharing it with your team. So that's that. I also wanted to get into, you can look into the deeper sentiment. So if you're just like, why is Benson Boone a little bit more negative? You can kind of see the share of the sentiment here. So 15% positive, 34% negative. The rest is pretty neutral, which is pretty average for a lot of different topics. Here it will also give you like a really good AI summary as well if you're just wanting to do a very quick social listening query. And you can see the results over time. So again, that spike on June 19th, again, it's really correlating with that music video. But you can see here, like that negative spike it's 13,000 results just from that. Deeper in there, you can see the share of emotions. So like anger is a big one, sadness, love, joy, all of that. That's really good to see just kind of where people's emotions are sitting. Leave Benson alone. Honestly, I don't know too much about him. I just know that it was a big music video drop, so I thought, why not look into it a little bit further in the terms of the social world. But as we get into that, let's actually do a little bit of query building. So if we want to know Benson Boone and Mr. Electric Blue, let's see what that changes. Mr. Electric Blue. Has anyone listened to the song too much or watched the video? I'm interested to hear like what you guys thought about the overall video as we wait for these. But anyway, yeah, did you want to hop in here?
Oh, I was just gonna say this week I learned one, it was his birthday, but also his fan base, they call them Booners, which I thought was cute. Yeah. So every artist has a fan base name, so I just thought
Fair
that was
enough.
cute.
Yeah, it does. It truly does. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of pull up like Benson Boone and the song. As we can see, there was a pretty big change. So before we had 188,000 down to 21,000, but it is that obviously because we're looking at the music video. But that big spike right here, and it has 42% negative sentiment, which is just crazy. I've seen it once. This is my deep dive right now, so we're kind of doing it together, which is really nice. But yeah, I know I would love to see his workout routine as well. But yeah, going in here, we can kind of see the different themes. So here I wanted to see like we do know that there's the top themes, what he had in the music video. So industry plant, we had backflips, we had auto tune and stuff like that. So what I really want to see here as a social marketer, when the team was looking at the social listening data, were they actually seeing these in like a word cloud, and that's when they decided to kind of move it into like the music video and stuff like that. And this is where that social team would kind of look at those things. So we could see here like heart is a big one, single is a big one, audience, shade, all the ones in red would be those negative sentiment. Magical song, mystical, desperate, that's a big one. But yeah, it's just here's where you can see actually those like top performing or just mostly talked about themes along with Benson Boone. So if I were to change it and actually remove Mr. Electric Blue, I wonder what words we would have come up here. It's just gathering all that information. It does take a little bit of time just to scour the internet, but
I love that it showed emojis too.
yeah, actually, what's really cool here is you can actually change that. So if we wanted to just see emojis, we can see what the top emoji is with Benson Boone. So here we can see like a camera. The sadness is kind of sad. Like, why are people crying?
Yeah. There's someone doing flips. I see a cartwheel. That's funny. Very on brand.
This is on brand. Let's see what people are saying here. That's what I like to see is if you really wanted to do a deep dive, you can just come up here and see exactly what people are saying. But it looks like those that use Benson Boone with the backflip have actually really high sentiment. So that's good to know.
Lots of fans of the backflips, including Margaret. I saw Margaret loves it.
Exactly. It's super funny.
Oh, this is cool. I almost included this in the chat today, but yes, he's doing a partnership with Crumble Cookies. There's a special edition cookie, and I just saw Crumble was trending.
And this right here.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, good for the brand, seeing that it's getting some mentions. It's awesome.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
here.
get your cookies, folks.
What's also really cool too is you can actually fine tune it a little bit further too if you wanted. So we actually have these filters. So if you wanted to just look at positive, just look at neutral or negative, that's a really good indicator of like what exactly is being said with the negative and then what's being said with the positive. So I guess that's a really good call out. Like if we wanted to see Crumble Cookie and Benson Boone and then just negative, like see what people are saying about that, or just positive, seeing how people are vibing with that collaboration. As you move down to, you can actually select all the media types. So if we wanted to just look on social media, because right now we're actually scouring for articles, we're looking at blogs, we're looking at press releases, we're looking at social as well. So if you wanted to really just look at those social platforms, you can actually go into like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, Reddit. We calling Reddit a social platform. I don't why
Hey,
not?
you guys have it. It's impressive.
Exactly, there you go. So then
Whatever we want.
exactly. Here you can actually fine tune it a little bit further and actually see what's being said on social rather than, like, all of the internet
Yeah.
and the difference there. So that's really nice to see as well, and you can kind of compare, like, the sentiments with those media types, which is really interesting. And then you could actually just fine tune it a bit further too if you wanted. So, like, there's the countries, there's the languages, demographics, all of that. So if you really are wanting to look, like, into something super specific, this is a great way to do it. Um, and I also lastly, before we kinda get in, like, wrapping it up, I wanted to show the compare feature. So I wanted to kinda see Benson Boone versus Benson Boone and then the music video. So, this is how you would kind of write that out is Benson Boone and Mr. Electric Blue. And then what you can see here is the differences between the sentiments, which is
Mhm.
to me pretty interesting. So you can see the pink here is just Benson Boone, and then the purple is engagement, or the purple is Benson Boone and Mr. Electric Blue. Sorry about that.
Oh.
So obviously Benson Boone is going to have a higher results, but I wanted to really look here at the sentiment. So we can see that the sentiment for Benson Boone versus Benson Boone in the music video is a little bit higher. So it kind of looks like people weren't really vibing with the music video overall because he probably was poking a little bit more fun at, um yeah, wait, low key, the video plays itself for that. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I was kinda getting at. I don't know if the music video is landing because of that or not. Maybe
Mhm.
they're kind of mentioning, like, because you're saying these words that people are saying online, like, maybe they're not vibing with it too much. So, it's
Mhm.
really interesting to see, like, the difference between just Benson Boone and then Benson Boone and the music video.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's super interesting to me, but, there's a lot more in here that you can actually look into, like the different sentiment there, the top themes, demographic, influencers, where people are talking about you in the world, so, I urge you all to kinda play around with this when you can, and if you you can do, like, a free trial if you don't actually have a Hootsuite account and actually look into this a little bit further, but, basically what we look at on our social team is, basically how to spot these trends and really understanding what's resonating online. So what we used it to help decide is like, is this trend worth jumping on? And is this topic worth posting about?
Mhm.
So, like for the Benson Boone marketing team, they wanted to kind of hop on these. They probably saw some um, popular words kinda coming up in keywords with Benson Boone, and they're like, "Let's kind of address these in our next music video," and I think that's a really great way to, like, say, like, "Hey, we hear you. We are kind of poking fun a little bit at our own selves and everything like that," um, but it's also you wanna look at that sentiment too to see, like, is it worth it? Is it gonna throw flame on the fire? Gas on the fire? I'm not really
Fuel to the fire. That's yeah.
yeah,
That's what I wanna say.
I'm, like, great with my
Yeah.
words. Um,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah, I wanted to show this as
someone
an example.
this is really cool, and someone last week even said that he should take those negative comments that he had on the shirt in the music video and add them to his merch shop and, like, really just turn it into this, like, fully integrated thing, which is which is fun, but, yeah, that's exactly why we wanted to talk about this, everyone, was because social listening was such a part of his video, so let's look at the data ourselves and see maybe what he and his team were looking at. It's really, really cool to dive into that. So
Yeah,
thank you, Paige.
of
Um,
course.
we do have a question from Kevin. I'll let you skim it if maybe we want to answer it in the chat, or if maybe Margaret and Darian want to chime in, unless you know this off the top of your head here. But
Sure, yeah.
let
So
me
is
know.
there a way to link the negative engagements from profiles to your paid social ad audiences to target people who are loving the brand more than those who don't? That's a very good question. I will say that's gonna be more in, like, these filters here. Um, I think there's not a way to, look at the paid versus organic. Um, there was a way to, um the demographics here was there was a way to, I guess instead of looking at people who are loving the brand versus people who are not really vibing with the, paid ads, not necessarily, maybe a little bit more on Talkwalker, just because that one has a little bit more built-in features. This is just more of like a quick gut health check for social listening. But we do have these filters here for for demographics. So we have one where you can do automated accounts, and what this is like bot activity versus actual accounts. And this is where you'll see a little bit more on the paid ads. You're going to see a lot of bot activity there. So kind of if you want to see um, basically the people that are really engaging with your content, if they're if they're bot activity or actual people that are engaging with your content and everything like that. So that's where you can kind of filter those out here. And then what I would also do a little bit further is actually just look at the positive versus negative. So if you want to just look at the positive, then you can see like those people are loving your brand. And then after that, switch to like the negative to see these people are actually not vibing with your brand and like what people are saying and everything like that. I
Mhm.
hope that answers the question, but I know it is a very specific question that maybe our social listening experts would have a little bit easier time answering. So I will take that back and actually get back to you a little bit further about that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you, Kevin, for that question.
Yeah, definitely everyone here, if you haven't yet, send Paige a connection request. Let's keep this going. You've got a
Definitely.
couple more questions too. We can maybe get to these in the chat, but in the meantime, I think I'll move on and look at our national holidays for July coming up. Can't believe we're already in the second half of the year here. So, Paige and her team put together this handy dandy graphic here. So, let's see what's coming up in July.
Yeah, of course. So I'm excited to move on to the national holidays. So I wanted to say we're especially excited because in June, so it's not July just yet, but we're excited to be celebrating Social Media Day. So this is our absolutely favorite holiday of the year, as you can guess at here at Hootsuite. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the day. It's a day to send love and appreciation to everyone working in social, from social media managers to directors of social, anyone working in this space. So I want to say, take a little time to scroll, to reply to comments, maybe even post a little bit on your own personal account. I don't know about you guys, but my Instagram has been collecting dust for a while. I know as social media managers, it's hard to get to the personal stuff a little bit sometimes. So maybe on the day of, give your social accounts a little bit of love, those personal accounts. Um, but yeah, speaking of celebrations, we've got a special surprise coming up on Monday. So make sure to follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. That's the Hootsuite account. We have a contest going on running on the Monday. So definitely run there and try to enter to win. But speaking of holidays, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of July's content calendar. So we're going to be dropping this on the 2nd, so July 2nd. For our Canadian friends, I wanted to say happy early Canada Day on the July 1st. But here are the days that we'll be kind of sharing on our accounts on the 2nd. A few of my favorite are the social media giving day on July 10th, the World Emoji Day on July 22nd, and International Friendship Day. For World Emoji Day, I would love for you all to send your favorite emoji or your most recent or most used emojis in the chat, because I'm always interested to see what emojis people are using. And I think World Emoji Day is just a fun way to share that. But I'd love to know a little bit earlier, what emojis are your guys' favorite ones to use, or most recent, I guess. And do you guys have any of these marked on your calendars already? Because these ones I actually didn't really know about.
Yeah,
Just
National Intern Day. We need to show some love to the interns. So if
show
you have
some love
any
to the
interns working for
interns.
your company, yeah. And I love that that's over the summer too. Very strategic because a lot of people get summer internships. So they deserve some love. I know interns get a bad rap a lot, or there's that ongoing trope about, oh, the intern did it. So let's turn it around on July 29th and show some love
Let's
to
give some love for the interns, yeah.
exactly, exactly. But yes, drop your favorite emoji. I've been using the melting emoji a
Oh,
lot.
yes.
A
I
lot.
love
Yes, Sima.
Yes, this one, yes. I feel like it's such a perfect one. Oh, the
It
bubbles are
is.
so cute.
Amy, that's very on brand. I love that.
Yeah, those
Fire
ones are my
emoji. You know what else is a fun question too is like drop an emoji that you've never used, because I've like scrolled, I'm like, I had no idea there was an emoji for that. There's so many
Yeah.
random ones.
Or can we talk about the ones that used to exist and now don't? Like the robber? Where did the robber go?
Oh,
Where did
no.
there was a
He got
seahorse?
arrested. There was a seahorse, you
There
said?
was a seahorse. Okay,
Oh.
maybe I'm, like, gaslighting myself into thinking there was a seahorse, but I'm pretty sure there was a
Yeah,
seahorse.
that sounds right. Or remember a few years ago, Kendall Jackson did a campaign, like there was a whole petition for a white wine emoji. And
Oh
I
my god.
thought that was gonna be a success, but it's been years and we still don't have it. So
We have the red, why don't we have the white? Or
we need
rosé?
yeah, we need the full gamut. Love that.
100%.
Monique's got her summer thermometer going. Jorge says, invest in interns, y'all, literally and figuratively. I always tell my interns I want to work for them someday. That,
Oh,
you're a great boss. I could already tell that, Jorge. That's amazing.
yep. I
That's
love that sentiment. That's so perfect.
awesome. So keep dropping your emojis. And we're gonna kick off question 1 here. There definitely was a seahorse, according to Sima.
There was, I'm telling you.
Aw, big fan. Love
Okay,
it.
awesome. So yeah,
Mhm.
kicking off question 1. Now I'm really curious, Hootsuite and we would love to know. So when your team manages multiple accounts or clients, what do you use to stay organized and aligned? I'd love to hear about your systems in place, whether it's like the platforms that you use, the routines that you follow, or anything else that like kind of keeps you on track. I know for me and the Hootsuite team, we use Rike, Slack, and of course Hootsuite. Personally, I'm pretty routine driven. I do schedule all my posts like every Monday morning. I check the weekend engagements. At the end of the month, I do like a full content review, looking at top performing and bottom performing posts. I spot patterns and I like adjust from there. That's just what works for me. But I would love to hear everyone else's approaches to like how you kind of stay aligned and organized and those different like platforms or routines that you have in place.
Whoops. Yes, I can already hear the slacks going off on your end, Paige, so I
Yeah,
love
yeah. Oh,
that.
can you hear them? Oh my god, I'm
Busy
sorry.
Friday. No, I love it. I love it.
I will turn them off.
Busy Friday. Um, so yeah, please share your systems. Bailey says, "I love to use Microsoft Planner."
Oh, yeah, I've used that in the past too, and that's very
Oh, oh, we lost Paige. She'll be back. She has the link. I'm sure we'll see her in a second. But Microsoft Planner, I've actually never used that. So tell me more. Um, I will say for this partnership with Hootsuite, we had an ongoing Google Doc and we were just commenting back and forth, and it was just so much easier. There she is. It was
I
just
meant to turn off Slack and I turned off Chrome. Guys, I'm so sorry.
all good, all good. It's fine. You gave people more time to answer the question. So there we
Sorry
go.
about that, guys. Okay,
All good.
Smartsheets and Hootsuite. Love that, Erica. How are you liking your free plan so far?
Oh, yes. Erica was one of our winners.
Yep, she was.
Let's see. And one person team, and you can pry my Excel spreadsheets out of my golden hand. Not
I
even Google Sheets, Anne.
Oh, I love Google Sheets. I was strictly Excel sheets, and now I love Google Sheets.
Smart Sheets is great too. I've used that
Oh,
before.
interesting. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try.
Sima here.
Notion. Yep, that makes sense. Schedule
Schedule.
content. Variety of tools. Hootsuite, Dashouts, and Sprout. Wow, that's really good to know.
Good workflow. No. No.
They were like, "Get out."
Get out. Yep. Romy's here. She says Slack and Monday.com and Hootsuite, of course. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's great, Romy, because Monday.com and Hootsuite have a beautiful collaboration partnership. So you can now pull your planned posts from from Monday.com straight into Hootsuite. Don't know if you
Whoa.
knew that, but that's a very good, very, very good partnership there.
Yeah, who knew? She started using Notion too. Lots of big fans of Notion.
Yeah.
Shout out to Notion. Can't function without Slack. I know. I
No,
really can't believe we were just emailing that whole time before Slack. Like, what?
crazy. Crazy. I actually love Slack.
Yeah, me too. And adding GIFs in Slack, like
Oh,
it could be a vibe sometimes.
oh, yeah,
Um,
totally.
Bailey says Microsoft Planner gives you the option to use the schedule option as a calendar, a bucket
Oh,
method, or view in charts to see completion in charts. I can just envision it. I bet it's a really nice dashboard.
it feels like a very organized place to be.
Erica's been loving her free plan. She has some questions on that, so maybe we could follow up with her there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, send us a message. We'll be able to help you out fully.
Lathan, all about the color coding. Yes.
I do love a good, beautifully colored spreadsheet.
Yes. Romy uses Favicon for finding influencers. I haven't heard of that one.
Interesting. Favicon.
Yes. ClickUp, big fans. HubSpot, Google 1,000% for personal stuff. And says, but work is a Microsoft environment. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, Bailey, is this the thing that is like a little, dashboard in your house that your whole family can use?
Oh, I've seen TikToks about that.
Yes, me too. Me too. When my daughter gets older, I can just, put all the practices and games and all that stuff on there. It looks really great for like
I love
true
that.
families and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if anyone has anything else they want to share on this, please keep chiming in the chat. But Paige, this was so fun. Thank you for the demo. We love seeing how Hootsuite works, especially within the context of Benson Boone, and really like we said, closing the loop on that conversation and what's trending.
Yeah.
And I think we should do it again because there's always stuff trending in pop culture, and it was really cool to see what that all looks like on the back end and putting some of the data to those trending topics. So thank you. And happy early social media day to you.
Hey, happy early social media day. I want to say thank you, Brianne. You've been an amazing host. You've crushed it and just really great to collaborate with. You have an amazing community. You guys in the chat are all so fun and engaging. I've had a great 5 weeks and sad this is coming to a close, but I know you have a very fun summer coming up for you. So I wanted to say thank you for doing this. You've been amazing. And this was a beautiful collaboration. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And thank you for the giveaways. That's still coming up. We're going to see Paige in the chat for the rest of the questions. And if you haven't, please make sure you join Status Update to keep in touch.
Yes, please join Status Update. I cordially invite you all. So we'll be dropping in the link in the chat, and I would love to see you all there and continue some different conversations. So thank you, Brianne.
Keep it going. Thank you. Thanks, Paige. All right, we'll see her in the chat. Oh, you guys are too kind. Thank you. Paige is the best. The whole team at Hootsuite, Margaret, Darian, you've been amazing to work with. So this was so fun. And we have more. Bye for now. More trending topics to cover. So you know the drill. We're going to jump right into things. First up, the social network 2 is in the works. You may have seen me posting about this yesterday. And it turns out that this is going to be about the Facebook files being released, which is set to kind of expose the inner workings of Meta and Facebook and get into those juicy details. So I was thinking about the original social network and how this came out in 2010, so 15 years ago. I was like, what was I doing on social media 15 years ago? What was my mindset? What did I even think about social media? And it got me wondering, what is a belief you once had about social media that's changed in the last 15 years? So maybe something that would be a little different in the social network too. What is something that, scandal. Yeah, it's going to go there. I think it's going to get really political. Amy says, I remember seeing the first movie in theaters. That's awesome. That's really cool. What a fun memory. I just love that Justin Timberlake was in it, and I really want him back for the sequel, but we shall see. So 15 years. Oh my gosh, that's a long time. I feel like we blinked and 15 years flew by. So what is a belief you once had about social media that's changed in the last 15 years? I will start by saying, social media started this way. I used to think it would never really be a good place for brands and that we were going to always resist having brands on these platforms that are for our friends and family and just connecting with people that we really know. And I think for the most part, brands have inserted themselves into the conversation over these last 15 years in fun ways. And now we kind of look forward to seeing products that we need, and we do get targeted all the time. But the ads and the content we're seeing are for things we genuinely need. So the ad targeting has been really great. It's been interesting to kind of do a Google search and then those ads follow you on social everywhere you go. But it's like, you're right, I do need that. I am going to open my wallet. But brands are just fitting in really seamlessly. They're making a lot of money. And yeah, I feel like we're seeing brands more than our social contacts. Is that just me? My algorithm is all over. Aw. I am always seated for Aaron Sorkin. Yes, he is going to direct it. Yeah, I don't want to reminisce about all the bad things that Facebook brought. Salim says that social media could be useful to keep in touch with family and friends. Yeah, it's interesting that we've gotten so passive with it. You know, we see our family and friends on there and we just kind of leave a like and we're not really engaging or picking up the phone. That's kind of sad. But I do feel like I'm keeping up with more people, or I at least know what more people are up to than ever before. But yeah, I think we should be more intentional about keeping in touch with people. Yeah, I saw Brenda's song, Bailey says, was blocked by Disney for number 2. She wanted to be in it and something happened. For me, it's that social could replace TV. That's something you believe now, Mark? What's a belief you once had? For me, it's that social could replace TV. Tell me more. Jorge says that social is optional. Yes, in today's world, it's really not. That news would never be replaced by social. I know. So many people have cut the cord, and that's really where we're getting news so fast. Simon says social media wouldn't be cluttered with ads. How naive I was. I know. It's really evolved. Kenyatta's here. That it would make it easier to keep up with friends and family. So what is it? Is it just that there's too many people to keep up with, that we're just passively scrolling? What is it? Paige again says, thank you. If you haven't yet, join status update. We'll see you there. Erica realized how so many people were hacked easily. Back then it wasn't bad. Ooh. Justin says, I used to think that using social media would always be a choice. No longer the case. Yeah, I know. You kind of get left behind if you're not on social. Savannah says that it was always going to be a highlight reel with only polished content. Yes, this is good news. We're seeing people get a lot more vulnerable. Really great answers here, guys. My friends list and audience alone has been collecting numbers since middle school. It's wild to think people from every chapter of my life are just there and can see what you're up to. I'm a lot more nervous to post as an adult than when I was younger. Yeah, it's like you meet someone a handful of times and then you follow them forever. Like it's weird to see like friends from college that you met at a party a couple times and they see all your stuff. Instagram didn't even exist 15 years ago. What was it, 2011 or so? Funny and unhinged brands are on social lately. I feel like brand social presence used to have to be a lot more serious. Yes, the playbooks have been thrown out. Oh, Mark didn't believe it could replace TV. Got it. These are great answers. I want to keep reading them all, but we've got a lot more questions to get to, guys. So I'm going to keep this moving, but keep sharing your thoughts, keep replying to others in the chat. But man, 15 years. So this movie's coming out this fall. No, I'm sorry. This is coming out this fall. Is Blue's Clues. The host, Steve Burns, is launching his own podcast. Oh, fall of 2010 was the Instagram launch. Thank you. I am so excited for this. I am not a major podcast listener, but this I can really get behind because Steve Burns from Blue's Clues is just so positive. You may have remembered this viral video that Nick Jr. posted for the Blue's Clues 25th anniversary. And this just spoke to everyone's hearts when Steve was back. And he's like, I missed you. You're doing great. Life got really hard in these last, few years that we all grew up. And Steve Burns, in his press release and interviews about this show, he described the podcast, which is going to be called Alive. He described it as the podcast that listens back. And we've talked a lot about social listening and how important it is to listen to your audience. And I wanted to define this a little bit more. So, my question for you is, how does a podcast or brand actually demonstrate that they listen back? How does a podcast or brand actually demonstrate that they listen back? So, it's one thing to read what people are saying and listen to what people are saying, but how is that proof to me as an audience member that you're hearing me and listening back? What does that mean to you when you hear that? I'm curious. That video was a gut punch. I thought about playing it here, Mark, and I was like, I don't want to cry, but I did refresh my memory and watch it yesterday, and it's really beautiful. Monique says something I always think is funny is how The Office made the WLPH.com joke, a website that sends you one notification for all of your ways of connection. That was the funniest joke. Now I want it to exist so bad. What happens if we go to that domain? I'm curious. Kenyatta says the way Steve has maintained connection to people through the years without ever forcing that connection is one of the greatest examples of authenticity we've ever seen. Kenyatta, I think you're right, especially since he came out of the woodwork. I don't really see him being super active on social or see him popping up a lot, but we saw Steve and it was like, Steve, we love you. And it just felt like no time had passed. It was really beautiful. Salim says, acknowledge the feedback and act on it, and featuring UGC around the brand. Yes, that's a great way to demonstrate that the brand is listening. Anne says they actually act, saying, we've received your input is BS unless you actually do something with it. Isn't that the goal? That should be what they're after. Everyone's better for it. The easiest way is to engage back with your audience in more than just the comments. Yeah, seeing them, replying to them. Yeah, exactly. We love Steve. So I feel like a lot of podcasts I listen to are ones that kind of stress me out about work I should be doing, or they're like a lot of self-improvement podcasts. And I'm ready for a podcast that just feels like a warm hug. And I feel like that's what this is going to be. I feel like the Kelsey's podcast, Not Gonna Lie with Kylie and the New Heights with the Brothers, do this well. They often pose questions during the show and on their social and then react to things during the next episode. Oh, that's smart. That is smart. And again, I think everyone wins with that approach, because then you're crowdsourcing content. You're not making up content out of thin air. Your audience is supplying it and it's what they want to hear, and you're acting on it, like Anne said. So Kevin says, oh yeah, he had more to say. Do live podcasts and incorporate users' comments, answer questions in the next episode or standalone videos. Very smart approach. And that just keeps the retention. It keeps people listening because they want to see if their question was answered. Kylie Kelsey's is great, especially as a parent. I love the Peppa Pig thing. And I did start listening to the JWoww episode yesterday. Monique says, I love when any brand interacts, reading and responding to comments, hosting lives, having active Facebook and Reddit groups. Ooh, I tell me some brands that you've seen that are owning Reddit and monitoring their community there. I'm curious. Thank you, Jorge. Yeah, I'm listening to too many podcasts that just make me feel like I'm not doing enough. So I'm ready to turn a page a little bit in that regard. Okay, great commentary on this. Please keep it coming, but we're gonna move on. We've got about a few more minutes here. Sabrina Carpenter is considering banning phones from her concerts. I wonder if this will actually happen. I don't think it will. I think a lot of artists have thought about this, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So my question to you, I mean, we're going to these concerts, we're occasionally filming. Do you feel pressure to record certain moments? And how do you decide what's worth sharing and what to enjoy privately? Because, right, that's a lot of times that's why we're recording, isn't it? Is to share it with other people and to prove like, hey, I did this thing, and to seem, I don't know, to seem cool. I hate to even say that out loud, but otherwise we would just keep it all to ourselves, or we would watch everything and go through our camera rolls privately, but we don't. We share things. and we want other people to see what we're up to. So how do you decide what's worth sharing and what to enjoy privately? And do you feel pressure to record certain things? Yeah, the Kelsey brothers are doing an amazing job asking what movie they should watch next and review, answering no dumb questions in a weekly segment. I've only seen clips of their show, but it sounds like a great case study in podcasting. Casey's here. Yes, Reddit is a good topic to explore for future pop chats. Please DM me, Casey, because Reddit is a bit of a blind spot for me. I wouldn't say owning Reddit, but such an interesting case study from D Brand this week. The edgy brand voice isn't always appropriate if people are really upset. Ooh, I missed this trend, Jorge, or this trending topic, I should say. Oh, and sorry, social media used to just be for fun. Looks like that was the last question. Interesting coming off of the Eras Tour live streams that Taylor's team ended up supporting. Yeah, I didn't know they supported it, but before I went to the Eras Tour, I avoided as much. I didn't watch a single video. I did see pictures, so I knew what the outfits were, but I didn't want to see it. Lathan says, for me, it is about having a memory. I don't post things to brag, but I do so that I can go back to those times. I usually film and snap photos of a few moments that I want to remember most. Yeah, I've never felt pressure to record as much as I do now after having a child. I'm like, oh my God, she did this cute thing. She's never going to be this little again. Oh my God, I have to film this. And I don't know if our parents felt that same pressure getting out the, shoulder camcorders that they used. I typically am a no phone person at concerts. I love that. I feel like it's only worth recording if you have really good seats. Like I've recorded concerts where I'm in the nosebleeds. I'm like, what am I doing? No one cares. No one's watching this. And when I'm up close, I should want to enjoy it, but I also do go back and watch those. Blind box communities have huge Facebook communities. Circle Bottle is one that was a teeny tiny and grew overnight after the Super Bowl. But to be honest, the very first brand I saw have a Facebook group was Shaker and Spoon, run by Amy in the chat. So go join that if you like cocktails. Romy is looking for Reddit experts. So I'm glad we are covering this. So anyone here? Oh my gosh, this chat is on fire today, you guys. I can't keep up. Oh my gosh. I wish I could get to everything. Jason's here. Bruno Mars has a song he only performs at no phone shows that is hilarious. And he says no one will believe that he does it since there's no proof. I love a good fun fact. One thing I can absolutely get behind is no phones at comedy shows. Like you're sharing that comedian's material that they're going to reuse at the next show and you're blowing the punchline. I don't like that. Benjamin says, I don't really share much personal stuff or even any recorded stuff, but I always found the idea of banning phones at concerts to be weird. I get that people will tell you to live in the moment and take it all in, but for the artists, it helps to create moments that inspire others to want to go to their concerts too. Yeah, that's a good point. To an extent, it is a marketing angle. You guys, oh my gosh, so many great comments. I don't believe I have to prove to anyone I experience anything. Good. It's my experiences, and I choose to commemorate that for myself or those I do not want to share that experience with, whoever I like digitally or physically. That is a great mindset to have, Kenyatta. I love that. I think with artists who do a surprise moment at their concerts, there is a pressure to record, like Taylor with her surprise songs or the Juno poses that Sabrina did during her last tour. Yeah, and that was unique to every show. So I could see that, but man. Oh my gosh. Thank you for all these links, all these things I have to read into. Chris is here. He says, I'll record and share with a close group, but have moved away in the past years from doing a lot of recording and sharing moments with bigger audiences. How do they enforce the no recording rule? So when you check in, you have to put your phone in a bag and lock it up. I forgot. There was someone that Sabrina said was doing it, and that's where she kind of got the idea. And I've seen museums do that, but at a concert, that seems like kind of a nightmare. Just like one more headache, like the parking lot. Video of Kenny. Love it. Oh, just wanted to mention this here. Salim is looking for a fractional marketer. So stay tuned for that. Okay, guys, I had 2 in case you missed it slides, but I'm going to skip those and we're going to jump to the giveaway. Oh, 5 minutes. Let's jump in. I almost forgot the giveaway, what everyone is here for. Hootsuite is graciously giving away 1 year of their advanced plan, which has a ton of awesome features and all these cool dashboards. And we were talking about how much we love color coding and sentiment, all those fun things. The advanced plan is awesome. And many of you, a couple of you in the chat have already won. So this is our last giveaway. So let's make it count. Hootsuite is going to pick their favorite answer to this question. What's one thing you wish you knew when you started working in social media? I am looking for your wisdom. After years of working in social media or marketing and just things you wish you knew when you first started out, or advice that you would give to someone who is just starting out in this field, what's one thing you wish you knew when you started working in social media? Oh, great. Salim, expect a DM from Sima regarding that fractional marketer. Love it. Kyle's here. Kyle's here for the giveaway. Awesome. Ooh, Kevin says, I believe the Masters golf tournament also bans phones. So that's shots of the crowd. So that shots of the crowd have their reaction, not everyone's face is behind a phone. Yeah. And who it's so annoying when someone's blocking your view because they're holding their phone up. That's not why we bought tickets. Anyway, so great thoughts on this. Monique has more insight on Reddit. I'm definitely not an expert, but I love following different communities in trending markets, especially Facebook and Reddit. From a marketing point, I think it's a great resource to connect with your loyalists directly. Interesting. I always kind of view Reddit as being like a Wild West a little bit and like a little too unpolished for brands, but I could be wrong. That's just the people posting on there. But if you kind of manage the community, it could be a really great place. And as Hootsuite has proved with status update, Facebook groups are also great for that. Okay, jumping into the giveaway. Kathy's here. She says one thing she wishes she knew when she started working in social media is that build your followers solely just following anyone. Hold on. Build your followers solely just following anyone doesn't necessarily resonate for you or your clients. Yeah, remember when like it was such a like black hat tactic that people used to just follow everyone and not curate carefully? Salim says that social media roles will always be underfunded. When the budgets go up, the workload goes up as well. Ooh, yes. You're not just a social media manager, you're a marketer, SEO expert, photographer, videographer, editor, graphic designer. Ooh, we're wearing a lot of hats. I hope we're being paid well. One thing you are not, Bailey, though, and you've learned this in my class, is that you are not a social media unicorn or a rock star or a ninja, right? You are a social media manager with skills that you have learned and can apply, and not everyone can do this job. Kevin, I scanned this, and the first thing I saw was InSync. That's just my brain. How to combine paid social with organic social. It's a game changer to do both together in sync. When I started in 2015, the algorithms or lack thereof were a bit different. So a lot of that knowledge would be useful in the near future, but not then. There's some wisdom for you. Mark says, learn how to interpret data and be patient in adjusting campaigns to improve results over time. Also, consistency of content output over perfection. And I feel like that just, the more consistent you are, if things aren't perfect, that counts as practice, and practice makes perfect. So put things out there. Also learn how to, oh, I already saw this. Okay. That people use social media like it's the customer support and complaint line. Oh no. Executives are not the experts at social media, Kyle says. You are. That's why they hired you. Remind them of that with data and not SaaS. Boom. And Hootsuite can help with that and make you look good at your job because the data doesn't lie. I wish I knew that content requests would come in very often, which can be hard to incorporate when you've already nailed down your strategy, posting frequency, and even messaging. And then it all gets shaken up, right? Right, Benjamin? Especially when the requested content may not necessarily fall in line with all of that, adding more to the full plate. Monique beautifully said, a brand is only as strong as the community behind it. Monique, you are going to get my sparkles today. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, Brittany's still playing. Hold on. Woo. Ah. All right, guys, we are at time. This was just so fun. I did have a little bit of industry news, but we're gonna skip over that. And I just, I want to thank you so much for joining. This has been an amazing 5 weeks with Hootsuite. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Darian, and thank all of you for showing up and joining this conversation. And I feel like a community is only as strong as the people who show up. So so people like Monique and all of you in the chat here, thank you so much for spending your last 5 Fridays with me. And even before that, we've just had Hootsuite here the last 5 Fridays, but you all have been a part of this community for a while, and I sincerely appreciate it. The chat is going on a short summer hiatus because I'm going to Italy. So please send any recs. I will be eating lots of pasta. But I'm going to miss you, and we'll be back probably in August or end of August. You will hear from me, and we will be in touch. Yay, Hootsuite. They were such a fun partner, weren't they? And I think for good measure, I have to play their little sound. Hold on. Hootsuite. Gotta love them. Go join status update. Thank you for the warm welcome, Pop Chat. Yes, you guys are the best. Thank you for making Hootsuite feel welcome. Thank you, Hootsuite, for the generous giveaways. You all are the best. We're going to keep this going. Mark is going to be back. Yes, Mark, I'm sorry to leave you like this. A first timer here. Jorge's here. Yep. Thank you so much. Good vibes are needed, Chris says. My boss's wife is having their 4th child, a boy after 3 girls, and he'll be out for the next 2 months. Looking forward to a wild summer. Chris, you've got this. You've got this. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Sima. Anthony, you're here. All right. This is too fun, but I assume some of you have, I hope you don't have meetings on Fridays. That's not the best. But 2:00 here on the East Coast. We'll see you soon. I'll be on LinkedIn. I'll be sharing all the things still. And again, thank you all so much. See you next time. Bye.